Report is the Eagle news, notes, and analysis you need.
Quick, he's going to go. What a give it to Smith, and they stop him again. Go back. He looks, fires for the end zone, intercepted, the 20, the 10, the 5, touchdown, Matt Ware, midfield, he's going to go, Deshaun Jackson. He steps up his head and falls forward, and he fumbles the football, and the Eagles have it. It's one, and the Eagles win.
It's all birds, all the time.
And welcome to another edition of the AATBirds Weekly Report, coming to you live on a Thursday night, not Wednesday night.
That's cool.
Seems to work a little better in my opinion. You know, a day later helps a little bit in terms of injury standpoint and everything, especially with the Eagles playing back-to-back Monday night games. It helps because that's when the injury reports and stuff come out.
You know what else comes out? And I have to share this. If you're watching us on Twitter, that's awesome. Please comment, because Twitter comments on StreamYard are finally back live after 2 years. So we would love to pop up some Twitter comments for the first time in 2 years.
No, absolutely. No, it's awesome to start seeing. Want to see the comments rolling in and everything. We got a lot to get into. We have to talk about this Eagles team. Dreadful loss Monday night against the Seattle Seahawks. They dropped to 10-4 now. It's tough. Now they have the Cardinals coming up. Yes, as you look at it, it is easier games when you look at the teams that they are playing. But the way that they are playing, honestly, you can lose to anybody. The offense isn't clicking the way it should be. The defense, to my opinion, I think defense played a little bit better, but it's tough to watch, especially an offense that haven't scored more than 20 points in over 3 weeks. It's becoming board. Yeah, not our standard. I understand that. They keep saying that it's not our standard, but you have to do something about it.
Yeah. So let's just get this out of the way at the top of the show. We are very aware that this Philadelphia Eagles team is 10-4. So we understand that record wise, that's still awesome. We're going to talk a lot of positivity about that. But one thing that we also have to do is we have to be accountable for what we have seen these past couple weeks. Going against quality teams in San Francisco and Dallas, we have gotten absolutely blown out. So you make hopefully some adjustments, and you play a Seahawks team. And there's all the storylines, Jalen may not play because he's ill, so he's flying out separate. I mean, there's a lot of stuff there. Regardless, there is so much blame to send around for that Seahawks loss, and it is completely unacceptable. And the thing that upsets me the most is we have not, with the 3 games that we have left, we are not going to be able to silence anybody, because all we're able to do is beat up on the Giants twice and the Cardinals once, and they're 2 really bad football teams. So if we beat up on them, great. We finally beat up on a bad team. It doesn't say anything. If we lose to one of them, then we have even bigger problems. So we're kind of in a no-win situation these next 3 weeks. And that's why the Seahawks win to me was very important. You're muted, Johnny, so I don't know if anybody wants to hear what you're saying.
I don't know if it was a no, it's not a no.
I feel like it's a no-win situation these next 3 weeks.
I wouldn't essentially I wouldn't.
As far as building confidence for the playoffs.
Again, I don't think that's true, because when you look at this team in general, to build off of these games coming up, yes, they may not be as good enough teams as you would like and everything. They were a 6-7, now a 7-7 team. Like they weren't great. You played down to your competition in the game, and unfortunately you lost, and you can't be doing that against these next teams. You're going to have to beat them. You're going to have to get yourself right. These are your get right games. The injury reports came out. You got some injuries, a number of players, a couple of players possibly coming back, but you have some injuries there, and you have to battle through it, and you have to figure it out, get the 3 wins, go to 13-4. You'll get the 2 seed, and basically,
Yeah.
go from there.
And this, I mean, Johnny, I love when he comments in because again, there's this is what it comes down to. They need to have 3 games where they flat out demolish them. In my opinion, we're talking about win versus no win. In my opinion, the only win that we get is by flat out demolishing them and going, you know what? These are bad teams. We're not going to play down to the level of competition. Because you think about it, we snuck by the Bills after spotting them all those points. We snuck by the Chiefs after spotting them all those points. We beat Dallas, but earlier on in the season, and it wasn't a great win. All the games that we had, we've yet to have a game where I'm like, man, this Eagles team is going to be destructive. We're a very soft 10-4 because when you play a team like San Francisco, and then, you look at some of the stuff that's happened after, which is like from the Manning couch episode where Christian McCaffrey is watching it and he's able to call the Eagles plays from his couch. More importantly, me, literally a guy who talks into a screen and doesn't have any affiliation with the Philadelphia Eagles, I'm able to do the same thing. I'm able to predict the Eagles offense. And if I'm able to do it with absolutely no, all 22 or whatever it is, and then our offense is too predictable. Our defense doesn't have the personnel to stop a team which has DK Metcalf, who they shut down for most of the game, and a Tyler Lockett, and a Smith and Jigba. And we lost to a backup quarterback in Drew Lock. I'm very concerned moving forward. Not saying it's impossible. Understanding, and again, Johnny, another comment, right? The theme most of the season hasn't been wins, how we won. All season we were told a win is a win. And yes, a win is a win. But there has not been, in those 10 wins, a good, feel-good win. There has not been one game where I'm like, man, this game was enjoyable to watch. In fact, the last couple of games have been games where I want to turn off the TV. And that's a problem.
When you get beat like you have against the Cowboys and against the 49ers. And, to me, it's, yes, you've lost 3 straight games. And, of course, everything is going to come out. You're going to have people nitpick. You're going to have beat writers looking for stories, trying to grasp everything they can. And we know that because we saw it a couple of years ago in 2020, because no matter what happened, you found the little whispers in the locker room, anything, and you took it out, and they made headlines to make it a story, to make it more interesting and make it. Now, it was a little bit different.
There was like 2 years in a row where we went, especially in the offseason, all right, what's our Howie story of the week? So I remember this. That's not where we need to be right now.
It was every week. And yeah, right now it's, you lost 3 straight games. You need to get back on the winning ways. And yeah, it needs to happen, especially starting this week on Christmas. Don't ruin Christmas by losing.
I swear you can't ruin. If we lose to Tommy DeVito on Christmas.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of doom and gloom right now because of everything that you're seeing. And listen, don't get me wrong. It sucks to witness what they've been doing, but it isn't like teams haven't had rough patches in December, late November into December, and then they had to go back their way into the playoffs. Teams have done that and have turned it on in the playoffs. You can't say it's not possible because honestly, anything can happen in the NFL. Injuries happen, bad games happen. You never know. We've been witnessing it for the last couple of weeks now. So it can happen to any team. It isn't just, focusing on just one team, the Eagles, that they're going through this. Any team can go through it, whether it's the Cowboys, whether it's the 49ers, whoever, the Lions, whoever it may be. And then on the AFC side, all those top teams. But anything is possible, unfortunately. For me, looking at it, the 2 Super Bowl teams right now, yeah, they know the Patriots lost to the Chiefs. Chiefs got the wins. The Chiefs haven't been playing all that well.
No.
The last month or so of the season. The Eagles haven't been playing all that well. So, yeah, you take a look at it and you see 10-4, and hey, you're 10-4. What you start at 10-1. You have to just finish out strong, get these last 3 wins. Now, of course, you take one game at a time if you're the Eagles, but as a fan, we're looking at the last 3 games and we're saying you get those 3 wins, you're 13-4. If I would have told you at the beginning of the year, the Eagles would be 13-4, your response would be?
I mean, I had them winning 13 games this season.
All right, shut up. I know you're going to go off of that. I'm just saying, if I told you they were going to win 13 games.
I had them winning 13 games.
So you'd have been like, okay, yeah, that's why
I had them. I had them at winning 13 games this season.
Okay, I understand that, but
Roll the tape, pull it up, because I was confident about this. What I didn't think would happen is when you look at this team on paper, right? When you look at this team on paper, they are so unbelievably stacked, so unbelievably loaded. We were coming off of a Super Bowl, and now for us to be totally disconnected as a team, totally inept on certain facets of the game, it boggles the mind. You know, the fact that we're launching the ball down the field for no reason in that weather with a sick quarterback. There's open routes all throughout run the ball. We needed long drives. We needed long drives and field goals.
The thing is, you don't need to worry about having a receiver try to get pass interference. I know he said it on the.
Oh my God. Let's talk about this. Let's discuss this.
Well, to me, looking at it, the first play, which the Quez Watkins getting grabbed, stuff like
What's pass interference?
But listen, Quez Watkins, it's been a number of plays, I think a couple plays this season where he's gotten, contacted and he doesn't make an emphasis of making it look like he's being contacted. Nope. He just lets somebody run him off the play and then just nonchalance isn't being forceful of falling down. Or the one, it was an underthrow. I forget what game it was. I think it may have been, I don't remember what game it was. I don't remember, but it was an underthrow where he didn't even, it's underthrown. The ball's right there. The defender, it isn't even looking at you.
Nope.
You go into him and fall down. That is pass interference. He's not doing that. He's not showing any type of effort. There's a couple plays that he's just running and just like running off. It's just, to me, I think
he wants to just run. He needs to join the U.S. track team because he's fast enough. Go for it.
Just give me Zacchaeus more than him, or even a little. I wouldn't say Julio Jones, but give me more Zacchaeus and see what he can do. He's made some big catches over over this last season.
I just think that. So for those of you that aren't aware of what we're talking about, there was a press conference and Sirianni flat out said
for the AJ Brown play, the end of the year, the end of the game,
at the end of the game. The interception on the sideline, which, by the way, his first foot did not get down. You would have seen the pebbles come up, but it was so close that there's also no way that they can overturn it. The ball never should have been thrown. But there is no reason why Nick Sirianni comes out and says we were playing for the pass interference call.
No, there is a reason. He's covering for his quarterback.
Okay, but you know what? Accountability matters. And right now, this
maybe
team
in the locker room, but
this team has been bad these last couple of weeks.
Listen, the accountability I get, but the accountability in that NovaCare in there means a lot more than to try to make someone accountable over the airs, over the press conference and everything like that. It'll be handled. If it's handled in house, I have faith in the leadership in terms of the Brandon Grahams and the Lane Johnson, Jason Kelsey's, Fletcher Cox's, all those type of guys.
And they did the work
veterans in
that
season.
Room. They did enough work early enough in the season where they have already qualified for the playoffs. But right now, I mean, pending the results of these last couple of games, there is an outside chance that we don't even host a home playoff game.
Yeah, if they struggle or they lose one of these games and Dallas wins out, then yeah, you could.
I don't think that Dallas is going to win out. It is Dallas in December, and they got absolutely mollywopped by the Bills, which was,
I'm just saying, though,
thoroughly enjoyable to watch. But as we've already said in the show, there's so many things that can happen in a football game. And there's a lot of parity this year in the NFL where you've got good teams losing to bad teams. Again, Arizona beat Dallas early in the season, and then Dallas slapped us silly. So what does that mean for us playing Arizona? I mean, there's so much that can happen. And I just feel that this year specifically, there doesn't seem to be a set game plan other than let's use Jalen Hurts was 85% of the offense again, and he was running at 75% at best. You have other weapons. You have to utilize them.
Yeah, I think it gets to a point of this. Like, I understand making the big plays, and I know Jason Kelsey came out and said that, they're trying to get, maybe two big play, happy, trying to get that big play. And looking at this offense, and to me, it's, you can't just try to get the big play. You need to work your way into that, whether that's doing slants, whether that's getting the middle of the field, doing some screens, running back screens, running the ball.
My biggest thing is running creative routes. It's just go routes.
I wouldn't even say creative routes. My thing is you run the ball, you're pushing the defense, you go and you do the slants, you work the middle of the field, you get what they give you, crossers, curl routes, anything there. Because what happens is when you keep just working your way down the field using that, all of a sudden you can go a double move here, something along the lines to be able to create a big play. Or it doesn't even have to be down the field like that. It could be something along the lines in the middle of the field. Dallas Goedert catching the ball, the yards after the catch. You have a Devontae Smith. You have a DeAndre Swift. You have these guys that should be able, in space, be able to get you the yards that you need and to move the chains and to do that. And, it is that too. It's the offense is basically running out of gas when they get into the red zone, and especially the last couple of weeks. But I think it's the fundamental aspect. The Jason Kelce false start was huge because that's a touchdown. You missed on a touchdown because you would have gotten that. And then
accountability. You've listened to him on his podcast. He said flat out, he goes, "It was the right call. I moved the football." And again, great.
Yeah.
Now what?
Yeah, it's just that. I don't know. That was a little bit concerning. And I think when you look at defensively now, getting into the, Matt Patricia now becoming the play caller and all of that, because
he's the one doing the press conferences. I mean, they are creating a scapegoat for sure.
But we haven't been able to talk about that move and everything. And I'm in favor of it. I like it because Matt Patricia did do some different things on Monday night. Sidney Brown, I understand he missed some tackles. He's a young
He is an aggressive player. Holy moly.
But again, let me ask you this. Watching the defense from this game, and I know they had the 92-yard drive. I understand that. That's, to me, it's a lot of
where every catch was against Brad.
Yeah. So, okay. We can talk about that. But I think Kealy Ringo had a really good game. Kealy
Ringo did have a good game. So overall, our secondary had a good game, but for that last quarter, because you're going against, I'm going to be honest, elite receivers.
But it comes down to this. When you look at Matt Patricia and what he's doing that Desai wasn't doing, was you got Sidney Brown playing a lot, and he's playing linebacker, playing slot corner, playing safety, playing in the box, and he's doing so many different things.
He's what Kayvon Wallace was supposed to be.
Yeah, but yeah, I understand. And hey, I'd like to have Wallace back as a third safety, special team or everything, but you don't have that. But just looking at what Sidney Brown was able to do, I want to see more of that because he brought an aggressiveness to a quickness to the defense. Kealy Ringo playing on the outside. You had Eli Ricks playing in the game. But the fun part about Eli Ricks, he had a good game. He was put in the slot one time, not on third down like he was when Desai was the defensive coordinator. Wasn't put in the slot all that time. Bradley Roby, the first drive for Seattle, Bradley Roby was in the slot on third down, third and long, when usually it was Eli Ricks. Eli Ricks isn't a slot corner. He is an outside backer. He has the length for an outside backer, outside corner. And listen, I liked what I saw from the secondary there. And, for me, they didn't do a whole bunch of blitzing, which is fine. It all comes down to, when you look at it, the end of the games and the third downs, the big part of the third downs is the pass rush. And when Josh Sweat and Hassan Reddick are playing so many snaps towards the end of the games, it becomes, are they worn out? Are they worn down? Are they not? Because
it would have helped if I can't believe I'm about to say this on the air. It would have helped if we kept Derek Barnett around for the crunch run.
I just think you need a lesson because, listen, I love Nolan Smith as a prospect, but he's a young rookie, and he's still he's not filled into his frame. He is a young 21-year-old rookie who needs time to build in, add some weight, build into his frame. And what I also like that I saw was on one of the third downs was Brandon Graham playing inside. I want to see more of that because Brandon Graham has that quickness. Let him rush the passer inside on a 3rd and long. Do some different things like that, which I hopefully could see more of in these next 3 weeks. But it was just a demoralizing loss. But again, you also have to take it. How many Eagles wins did they get that could have went this way? You look at the Chiefs game.
lot.
You look at the Bills game.
A lot of them. We could easily be very close to a 500 team right now.
So listen, unfortunately, maybe this was, you weren't going to win this game because you got lucky those 4 other games that you could have lost. So, take it as you will. I would love to see Seattle again, just to kind of bury that. I don't know. You haven't beat Pete Carroll. It's 8 straight loss to them. It's like you just want to get over that hump. But listen, we absolutely, again, the comments that are rolling in are fantastic. But I mean, what it comes down to is they need in a row 3 statement wins before the playoffs. Yeah, they just have to play good football, and they have to beat these teams because you can't play down on one of these. You let any of these teams hang around.
Do not leave a window for Tommy DeVito. Do not leave a window.
Kyler Murray, you never know.
For Kyler Murray and that whole Cardinals organization, which is actually made up of a lot of former Eagles. Let's call it like it is, including the head coach, who's going to try and win himself his little vendetta against Nick Sirianni.
Yeah. So listen, we'll see. It should be interesting. It should be fun. The Eagles have some injuries, and today they activated the window of Avonte Maddox, the 21-day window, which is great to see. We've talked about it multiple times, and even off show we've talked about it because Avonte Maddox is a key member to your defense, playing in the slot. He could do a number of things, but also I think what it does too is
no, Johnny, I can't imagine.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I don't want to imagine.
I don't want to imagine that. But, when you look at Avonte Maddox, you get him back, then Bradley Roby can play some slot, can play a little safety, can play some things in that secondary.
Play some outside corner where I wait for Darius Slay to get back.
He could do a number of things.
Because Avonte Maddox, we know, is not an outside corner.
Yeah. No, he is not. But he's a great nickel corner. And I think, if you go into the postseason with Slay on the outside, Avonte on the inside, and then say you get a young guy like Rickson Keely Ringo, James Bradbury, I think, if he keeps playing the way he is, he might be
a cap casualty. He played like garbage.
Oh, he's going to be next year. There's no doubt about it, unfortunately. But yeah, he's been playing very badly, unfortunately. He's a great guy. He's not like, it's not like a woe is me. He knows what he has to do. He knows he has to get better. He's always there, willing to talk and everything. But
right, exactly.
Listen, I don't know. I just think you can get a guy like Avonte Maddox back. It's going to help your defense. Cam Jurgens also did fully practice, so hopefully getting him back because Landon Dickerson most likely is out a week. He had a minor thumb surgery, so it looks like I'm guessing Tyler Steen will play left guard, but I don't know. Maybe Opeta. He may just swap over. I'm not sure what they're going to do there, but
I think you got to keep prepping Opeta as if Cam Jurgens is not going to play.
Yeah. So listen, it's just we'll see where it goes with that. And of course, on the injury report, you of course had no Slay. We know he's most likely going to be out. You didn't have Zach Cunningham again. He didn't practice. Nick Morrow didn't practice with an abdomen. And you had Devontae Smith that didn't practice with a knee because he tweaked his knee in the Monday night game. So definitely something to keep an eye on. Now, the Eagles don't play till Monday, so they have a couple days here. But I'm just kind of worried on the linebacker situation because
we are so thin at the linebacker situation. And it makes that move by Howie to let Christian Ellis trickle to waivers look even worse.
Yeah, and for me, when you look at it, I understand you wanted to see if you can get him out and, put him back on the practice squad. But what about a guy like Patrick Johnson? They had him playing inside backer when he really never played inside backer. So that was an odd move. It was, a little interesting. And it was interesting that they didn't even promote Brandon Smith from the practice squad, who is a inside linebacker that you have on your practice squad, on your roster. He's been there for a number of weeks. But it's just a little concerning with Morrow being out. Hopefully he's okay. Hopefully Cunningham can come back. Because you want to have as many guys healthy as possible going into the stretch run and going into the postseason.
And again, I don't necessarily think for the next 3 games you're going to need to bring your A game as far as who you're going against and what they. I mean, I'm going to be honest. On paper, these teams are really bad. They're really bad. However, we do need to put all of our chips down here and actually show that this team is capable of dominating a team.
Yeah. You need to be able to dominate a team.
I wish it wasn't like that. I wish we were able to kind of take our foot off the gas a little bit, but we're not.
No, unfortunately, you're not. And it's going to be, listen, I understand the Giants aren't really good, but again, it's a divisional game. Anything is possible.
In the way of quoting Little Giants, one time, 99 times out of 100, one time.
Yeah. Listen,
and that's the last Little Giants reference I will make tonight because the Giants suck.
Yeah, I agree with you. But yeah, we'll see. You got the Giants coming up, not after next week, but at the end of the year, the last game of the year, you have the Giants too. So there's a lot of Giants talk that's going to be happening in the next couple weeks. But I think it's time for a little bit.
It's time for the Ulecka Locks of the week. Who's your lock?
So, looking at the Ulecka Locks, we both were correct.
Ho!
You had San Francisco
40
points on Arizona, and they had 45. I had the Bills winning by 10 over Dallas.
Yeah, you did.
So we both got the victory there. We're both 6-10. It is one more because we had a double one that we did a couple weeks ago.
Because you stole my idea.
I did. But this brings us to this week's Ulecka Lock, and I'll start it out here. I'm going to go with the Dolphins score over 30 points against the Dallas Cowboys.
Ooh,
I think they get Tyreek Hill back. I think they are explosive offense. They will be able to move the ball. I think they will be able to score points in Miami against that Dallas defense.
Okay. Looking at the slate of games. I am going to speak something into existence because I'm going to need it to happen in the fantasy world. I'm going into the Brown-Texans game, which, we're all going to be eagerly watching because it's the Browns and the Texans. And David Njoku will have 2 touchdown receptions and thus win me my fantasy matchup this week.
Not too bad. And I believe.
And I know that Joe Flacco loves to go to Njoku already. His numbers have skyrocketed these past couple weeks.
Usually the veteran likes to go to the tight ends, the easy outlet there.
Rookies and veterans love to go to tight ends.
Yeah. And it looks like CJ Stroud won't be playing, so you got Case Keenum for the Texans. I will say the playoff races are pretty interesting. Looking at the AFC,
it is so crazy.
And the NFC. You have tonight, right now, the Rams and the Saints playing. They're both 7-7, so definitely.
I mean, here you go. Here's what's crazy to me, right? In the AFC, one team has clinched a berth.
Yeah, there's so much that can happen.
The only team that has clinched a playoff berth. In the NFC, you have 1, 2, 3 teams that have clinched a berth, and the 49ers have clinched the division.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because you look at the AFC South, there's 3 teams that are tied. You have the Colts, the Jags, and the Texans. It's going to be interesting final couple of weeks. It's
the NFC South. You have the Bucs, Saints, and Falcons all 7-7 or 6-8.
Yeah, I know it's going to be that race is going to be interesting because they're one of those teams are going to be able to host a home playoff game.
Well, remember, nobody talks about how crappy the NFC South is like they used to with the NFC East. Remember that.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that.
Because they're low market teams and all those. They're not New York, Washington, Dallas, Philly. It's just the way the cookie crumbles there. Remember that. Which now brings us to the predictions. Christmas night. Well, I guess you can say it's Christmas night. It's
Christmas afternoon.
Christmas late afternoon.
Christmas morrow.
Does Santa get hit with snowballs? Okay, no, we're not going there.
Why you liked us? He gets hit with meatballs, spicy meatballs.
Yeah. The meatballs, yeah. Hey, you're talking to an Italian here.
My wife's Italian. She heard me in the other room. I'm gonna get beaten
No.
over with a shoe.
Maybe
She's gonna run me over with Dominic, the Italian Christmas donkey.
Well, DeVito's a jerk off. They're all jerk offs. That's what they say.
This fucking guy.
Eagles win 34-16.
34 what?
34-16.
What
Would that be convincing for you?
I don't know.
What do you mean? 16? Like you said, 16 is not hard to get to. A touchdown and 3 field goals.
Great.
No. Touchdown and sure.
There he goes. Math time.
I can't even do math today. Whatever. 34-16.
7, 10, 13, 16. Yeah.
See, your lock should have been Boston Scott getting a touchdown. Or are we going to say
No,
that?
I'm not buying into that because I truly don't understand this offensive game plan anymore.
We'll see what happens. But what's your prediction for this game?
All right, I'm going an Eagles win because again, I need to have a Christmas enjoyment. The Christmas miracle that I'm going to say is the Eagles offense is finally going to show up, and they are going to hang a 40 spot on Christmas, and the final score is going to be 40-10.
Wow. Now, I would love to see 40-10. That is something I would absolutely love to see. An easy game, sit back, enjoy yourself, and get ready to watch San Fran and Baltimore then after the game.
Which is just going to be an incredible.
It's a great slate. It's a great games on Christmas. Christmas Eve games are pretty good. You have the 4:25 Miami Dolphins and Cowboys. So there's some good games.
I mean, let's pump the brakes there because you have the Patriots and the Broncos.
I didn't want to bring that up.
Oof.
So with Christmas coming up, I do want to get this first, and then we'll say goodbye. The top 5 Christmas movies on Chip's list.
Top 5 Christmas movies.
Your top 5 Christmas movies.
Okay. So for me, coming in at number 5 is a new one. It is Spirited on Apple. It's with Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell. It is exceptional. After that, you got to go The Grinch, the Jim Carrey version, at number 4. At number 3, you got to go Nightmare Before Christmas, which doubles.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Number 2 is Elf. And number 1, and this is going to be the one that, not necessarily everybody agrees with, but the old claymation Santa Claus is Coming to Town / Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
I heard something.
Yeah, that was the 10-year-old screaming, "You love that movie."
All right. Interesting list, I will say.
I have a very interesting list, I know. As my wife is texting me from the other room going, "Christmas vacation." I do not find that as enjoyable. I don't know. I'm not checking my phone. Okay.
So my list is number 5, Will Always Love You. Now, number 5 is
Bodyguard.
Elf.
Mm-hmm.
Number 5 is Elf.
Mm-hmm.
Number 4 is the Santa Claus.
Okay. The OG one.
What?
The OG one?
Yeah. The first one, Santa Claus, the first one. Number 3. See, it gets tough when you get to 3, 2, 1 because there is a big list of ones that I really like. So, some honorable mentions. I like, Four Christmases. I thought that's a funny movie.
That's a good one. Like honorable mentions, like Jingle Jangle for me. That's a great one.
Jingle All the Way.
But that does not make my list. Jingle All the Way with Arnold Schwarzenegger does not.
I said that's honorable mention. I'm talking honorable mention.
It's not on my honorable. List. It's dishonorable.
Oh God, that's
all right. Off my bingo card, doing a Arnold Schwarzenegger impersonation on my Eagles podcast show. Got it.
No, that's a good off your bingo card. But
I actually
number
didn't have
3.
that one written in.
What?
I didn't have that one written in. I didn't think that was ever going to happen.
Number 3, Christmas Story. To me, that's listen. Let me explain it first. Yeah, it may not be a great movie, but for me,
terrible.
That's what I grew up. Christmas Eve, it's always I watch. So for me, it's a lot of sentimental value when it comes to
That was like my number one. So okay.
So I love A Christmas Story. I do want to eventually, when my daughter and son get older, I want to go out to the Christmas Story house. They have a pretty cool attraction house, museum, stuff like that. I think that would be really cool. Number 2, I have Home Alone. Home Alone's a classic.
That's a good one. That could have gone on my list.
And number 1, I have Christmas Vacation, because Christmas Vacation is an all-timer. There are so many quotes you can use from it. It still rings true today. It's an awesome movie, and it'll never, ever not be number 1 on my list.
Okay.
Whether you like it or
it's
not.
awful. It's not awful. It's just,
listen.
how could you not put The Grinch on your list?
I like The Grinch, but to me, it's an honorable mention. It's an okay movie. It's all right.
Here's the important question. Best Christmas song, and I swear to God, if you say that Mariah Carey trash, I'm going to leave this computer.
Home Alone. Look at that. See?
Oh, she is blowing up my phone with how dare I insult Christmas Story, and called me an effing gabagool when hit me with one of these, the DeVito.
So, Dominic the Donkey.
That is not the best Christmas song. Stop it, madam.
That wasn't. You just say Adam?
Madam.
Oh, they said Adam.
No, madam. Best Christmas song. What you got?
Sorry, I had something in my head I was thinking about that made me chuckle a little bit. Best Christmas song. It's tough because I've been listening to Christmas music since October at work in my office. I
want you to know there is only one right answer. So go ahead. Tell me your wrong answer.
No, because you just said the Claymation's the number 1 Christmas movie. You're a freak. But
excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
You said The Christmas Story belongs in your top 5.
I said it was a sentimental. That's why.
No. Stop giving it away.
That is a terrible song.
Oh my God.
It is a terrible
I'll see you guys next time.
Santa Claus is coming to town. Okay. I'll talk a little bit. Bruce Springsteen is an overrated singer. His songs are boring.
I agree with you for most things, but that song is the best Christmas song. Go ahead. Tell me why you're wrong.
Why I'm wrong?
Tell me how you're wrong.
Okay. So the best Mariah Carey's Christmas song is good. I think it's overplayed.
That's my issue. I can't. To me,
it would be in top 5s. I would put it in like number 5 in my opinion.
You're gonna be like a sicko and be like the Christmas Shoes song where the mom like dies from cancer, aren't you?
No. I'm trying
Can I
to
buy these shoes for my mama, please?
No.
No.
I think for me, it's going to be, what is it? I think it's.
You don't even know it. How can you say it's the best song?
No, I think it's Nat King Cole. I think it's the Christmas. I think it was the Christmas song. Yeah, the Christmas song by Nat King Cole.
No. Thanks for playing.
I also like the one by Paul McCartney.
Oh.
What do you mean?
God. You stick to knowing colleges. I'll know music. We're fine.
You only like Bruce Springsteen's because you do a cover band. You sing garbage like his, right? That's like your style,
sir. I do not appreciate you
Does
slandering.
Nickelback have a Christmas song that you like?
No.
If they did, would that be number 1?
No, but again, and I'll say this on the air again, we're being controversial tonight. I don't mind Nickelback. I actually like Nickelback.
Oh, God. Well, maybe they'll come out with a Christmas album.
Dude, that'd be great. But can't go wrong with a classic sleigh ride instrumental, says Johnny Higgins.
I don't know. I think there's a lot of good Christmas music.
That is an okay one. Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
I was just about to say.
Okay, so we could agree on that one. Trans-Siberian Orchestra. That's a good one.
That is one thing. I would love to go to one of their shows.
They're like Christmas Eve in Sarajevo. That's like a stupid expensive concert to go to.
Yeah, like, but I think their songs and the stuff they have is really good. Even Pentatonics. You ever heard?
I've seen them in concert. They're good.
Yeah, so all that kind of stuff is good. It's a lot of festive. With Christmas being a couple days away. Go back. Doesn't get played under this roof. Children live here.
Go ahead, do the outro. I'm just gonna play this behind you.
Oh my god. Last
Santa Claus coming to town. What?
I guess you wouldn't be the right person to ask. Is all the Christmas shopping done?
I'm not the right person to ask. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
Same thing here.
All right.
I'm as excited as the kids on Christmas morning because I have no idea what they're getting.
Listen, my job is trash bag duty.
But with that, we want to
ready to go.
Thank everyone for joining us tonight. Talking some Eagles, ending it with some Christmas. We'll talk this off season, maybe around Christmas, summer and Christmas. Some others we'll discuss why your Christmas song isn't very good. But with that,
fries are done.
Eagles,
Fries are done.
Every time I hear that, that's what I think of. But with that, 2 words for you. Eagles need to get a win. 1.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Yeah,
Merry Christmas. Go Birds!
Go Birds and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
And they need to get the W. Bye-bye.
This is Matt Ware. Hey, for all the Eagle content you need, go follow All About the Birds. They do a damn thing. Check them out.
Hey, Eagles fans, I may be in Tampa, but I know where to find the best Eagles content out there. Check out my friends at All About the Birds.
Philadelphia, what's up? This your boy Freddie Mitchell, a.k.a. Fred X. It's all about the bird.
All birds all the time. All birds all the time.
All About the Birds provides you with weekly analysis, game recaps, informative interviews, and it's all birds all the time.